All righty. This is your show, Marty.
Hello, everyone. We are here. Jen and I are here celebrating our soon to be launched book of She Wins, Nice Girls Finish First. And I tell you, this title just caught my eye from the get-go. Yes, I was doing 100,000 things at the time when the opportunity came, but at the same time, I know it's so true. It is so
Yeah.
true that when we're nice, it pays off. It might not pay off right away. It might not pay off in our idea of the ideal time, but it pays off and it does multiply blessings. So Jen, tell me what you feel about this launch in this book and being an
Ah,
author and everything, because everything hit you all at once.
it hit me all at once. And I have to say, shout out to Marty, who is the impetus, I would say, for me stepping out and launching, even to write. I had so much trauma around writing, early childhood trauma that happened when I was a middle schooler. And I tell you, Marty sort of lit the fire underneath me and she challenged me to go higher. Jen, you can do it. And my first book, I didn't think I could. And when I got through it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. I'm done. And then another one came and I said to her, I'm thinking about doing it, but I'm not sure. She said, you go ahead, you can do it. She kept encouraging me. So I wanna just give Marty a lot of props for just being just a mentor, a coach, a friend, someone who I really respect and honor and really look up to. And she's the one who inspired me to write and keep writing and keep writing. And so lots of shout out to her. But what inspired me to write the book was that I I just realized that for me, the definition of nice is kind. I use kind throughout the book because I realized that nice is when somebody wants to do something because they don't want somebody to be mad at them. But kind is something that is a superpower. Like I put in my book, it's a superpower. It's something that I saw growing up with my mom. She was the kindest woman that I knew. And I remember one thing she used to say to us when people would mess with her or gossip about her or talk about her or really demean her, she would say, kill them with kindness. And I never understood what that meant. I'm like, so then now I'm thinking, I never saw her upset. I never saw her angry at people. She just had this awe about her. She still does. She's alive, thank God. But her kindness actually was what helped her to gain favor with with people in every dimension. I mean, just kindness is never wasted,
That's it.
never wasted. And so that's what inspired me. My mom is just she's one of the heroines that I follow and love. So she's the one who inspired me to write the book. And Marty too, because Marty has been so kind to me with my many requests.
Well, and it's weird. It's weird for me to be in this position and listen to you say this because I was probably one of the persons that was least kind, especially to me,
Oh, yeah,
especially to myself. Because
right.
why? And this is just how your brain reacts to certain wounds in the life of
Sure.
our inner child or whatever you want to put on it. But it was like I was underestimated, always kind of felt like I was shoved to the side by
Mm,
my own limiting beliefs. When I
sure.
got laid off, when I lost my jobs, I've lost numerous opportunities of careers that I wanted to do, but there was a rhyme and a reason for it. And as long as I maintained the passion and the purpose that God had given me, I see now where it's paying off. I finally caught on to the message He had given me all along.
Yeah.
So every loss has refined me. I needed to be
Mm,
honed in the skills that He
wow.
was lining out for me. And I just say that this,
Say
like
that
I
again. Say that again. Every loss is what?
every loss has refined me, and it
Ooh,
refines each and every one of us because in
yeah.
losing, we give up something, but we gain so much more. We gain
Mm,
that ability to see that it's only temporary, that there's
that's
something
right.
bigger coming along the way, more opportunity, more chance to live and grow from that experience that you felt was going to be the end of the world. But so when you start shifting your perspectives and start really opening up your awareness to the reasons why things present themselves, it's all forging in the fire for me. That's why
Mm.
I say I'm I'm the fire, not the ashes, because I know God
Mm.
was putting all this into me that I needed to see for myself and acknowledge, hey Martie, you're not that person that you think you are. You just didn't see it. You weren't
Yeah.
around the people that were encouraging you. You weren't around the
Right.
people that inspired you. You weren't around the people that want to hold you under their wing and share
Mm.
with you what has worked for them. So, of course, when you get that privilege of feeling that, all you want to do is pay it forward. So I've been
Yeah.
focused, I'm
That's
paying
nice.
forward. And to me,
Mhm.
this book is just another road crossing to see where else can I reach? Where else can I
Mm.
show my story and show people that they have it in them the same
Yeah,
way to share
that's
with
right.
the world, not to
Yeah,
be jealous, not to compare, but to
that's right.
see maybe I can do something with this. And that's what I want to everyone to that's out there listening. It's not about us showing off that we wrote a book. No,
Right.
more like showing that even though we were facing hardship, even
Yes.
though we've been tried and true, we still stuck with the plan to make ourselves a better version each and every time. So that's
Yeah, for
kind
sure.
of all that inspired me.
So, how does this story challenge the belief that, and I've heard it said in my sphere of influence, where they said, being too nice means being overlooked or taken advantage of. And I've heard that, people make fun of people who are quote too nice. They sort of poo-poo, you know, uh, that that virtue. Really, how does the chapter that you wrote challenge that belief?
Was this like when after I lost my career, that was challenging enough because it's like you put all your eggs in the one basket and you want this to work. You want this to you open up more opportunity, more windows of whatever passion and purpose you have. I love taking care of people, and I thought radiation therapy and oncology was my go-to thing to do. But now I see that God was just giving me a detour to the bigger plan he had for me.
That's
And the
right.
detour that I call is he was training me to help cancer patients, but I had
Mm.
no knowledge that I was going to be teaching my mom, that I was going to be
Mm.
helping my mom. And so to
Wow.
me, it's like, hello, this is how life is really supposed to go. You get sidetracked, you get diverted, you get into those speed bumps, you fall, you crawl, you bleed, you die, you whatever, but you keep going. And God finds a place for you to start seeing the light of everything that you've missed. And that's how I feel this is happening. And we're not invisible. We just temporarily
Mm.
out of service and not
I love it.
and not in conjunction with what we were trying to pursue because we're so distracted by the
Mm.
the happenings in life that we don't focus on what we want from life, what we want to deliver. So it's like when you focus, like you said, you focused on
Mhm.
what you wanted to do and you see the difference in your progress of what you've accomplished. Two
Mhm.
books. I never
Mhm.
thought you'd be on the first book. I was
But
talking
you
you.
believed?
I believed you would eventually, but I didn't know it was going to be this soon. So to me, it's like, wow, if she's caught on to that knowledge, I can write this, then I got more to give. That because every
Yes.
time you accomplish something, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, more is expected of me. And I was always told when God gives you something, he's going to prepare you for something
Yeah.
that you can handle. The
Yeah.
problem is we don't want to handle as much the next go round, but there's a purpose for it. Is to make us stronger, to thrive and to build and to learn and to share. That that's kind of how I see it. I don't know that, but I think a lot of people go that route too because eventually you catch on.
Catch on. Yeah. You catch on. It's like it's a movement, and that's what the book is about. It's a movement of kindness, and I didn't even, I mean, it's not talked about in boardrooms or um it's not talked about as something. It's seen as something that is just a throwaway virtue today. No one talks about being nice or being kind is something that's even, special. But what I wanted readers to, especially women, to feel or believe about themselves after reading the chapter of my book is that, we come with personalities out into the world, and we're shaped by our caregivers, good or bad, right or wrong, experiences like you talked about, uh, on your workplace, and you get battered by the world. And over time, if you're not careful, you could be two things. You could be really cynical
Mm.
and sort of think everybody's about to get you or hurt you, and you cower or you get really hard. And I've seen that. I've worked in spaces, volunteer in spaces where in a trauma center where, the women are very hard, they're very harsh. It's not because they want to be, it's because it's a protection.
Mm.
And so I had to learn all of that and realize, oh my goodness, not everybody's kind like my mom. This kind of sort of like I had this Cinderella thought that everybody should be like my mom. And I came out in the world and realized, oh no, everyone is not like your mom.
And
But over time, I realized that even though folks were harsh and hard from traumas, it didn't mean that I had to be that way as well,
right.
because I wanted to protect myself, right? And so I sit with these women because I volunteer there. I sit with them. I have lunch with them. I hear their stories, and I don't solve anything. I just listen. And that's all people want, honestly.
Yeah.
So even that small gift, I say, to this center that I volunteer is kindness. It's being kind to people who were treated so unkindly. So what I want women to walk away with is that just because life has dealt with you in a very negative way over and over and over again, it doesn't mean you have to wear the shield of protection of hardness.
Right.
You can safely heal and have vulnerability around kindness. Now, I'm not a therapist. I don't pretend to be one. I'm not licensed or anything, but I know that as a result of women reading this book, that some of those, what I call fortresses that they've built, may come down a little bit. They may be open a little bit to share a softer side of themselves, to be kind, and to be kind would lead them into open doors of opportunities that they never thought would exist.
I think kindness gave me the courage to heal. And that was
Mm,
something I was always taught to be kind to everyone, but I was
mm.
never kind to myself. I was
Ooh,
harsh on myself. I
say
I
it, sister.
never I never thought that that was important in the and now I see that it was kind of like I was pretending everything was hunky dory with everybody and I was kind and polite and everything
Ah,
pretty.
that's the work. That's the work.
But
Yeah.
but me, I was giving it all away and I was not offering myself. So how could I really think that I was being kind to
Mhm,
anyone if I was
mhm,
leaving myself out of the equation? So that kindness is important with us first. It's not
It
selfish.
is.
It's a
That's right.
protection. It's a building of that attitude of gratitude of everything that is given to us to protect it. And if we're
Mhm,
kind to ourselves, then we're going to propel a different message to the world because we're not aggressive. We're not feisty. We're not, vicious with everything around us because we don't like what we see. No, on the
mhm,
contrary. And there's a lot of things in this world that we don't like and we see and we witness. But if we
mhm.
add insult to the injuries, then we're not helping, we're not being nothing but hypocritical.
Sure.
We're not helping change or be the
Mhm.
change to change. So it's
Yeah.
a the coolest thing in the world to acknowledge that because if you had known me 20 years ago, you'd have said, this child is not kind at all. It's the kind of
I
people
know.
that you want to avoid.
That's right. That's right. I think, just, because we're both, with the same publishing company, and, they bring out such good stuff. Um, when you say if you had seen me 20 years ago, similarly, right? Because we come with all this armor that we wear for whatever reason, we think it's the way to be. But what do you hope this book changes the conversation for women who are tired of being told to toughen up? and play the game to succeed. What do you hope this book would do to women who
I
buy it?
think
And by the way, it's pre-ordering Amazon.com. We're gonna put our stuff in the comments below.
right. I think the main thing is to realize that this is, we want people to know that we're not broken. Okay? We
That's right.
all are not broken. I don't know how we put it in our head that we're broken because things happened differently than we wanted them to result. But there's a reason and a rhyme for everything we go through. It's to teach us a lesson, to teach us an opportunity, to make us see things in a different light. If we
Right.
were just sitting here all protected and pretty, we'd be kind to everyone, but we'd be boring. We'd be very boring. It's not that's where the test of tolerance, temperance, and everything that we're supposed to withstand is
Yeah.
teaching us how to react differently. So
Mm.
I say women are not broken, they're becoming. And if you can be
Ooh,
reminded of that, that you're not broken, that you're becoming, that you're going to change, that this is going to make you better. It's not killing you, it's not knocking, you're still alive, you're still aware, maybe
that's
not
right.
paying attention 100% to what you need to do to change it, but it's just a distraction to make you focus. It's just a way to realize that we can't doubt our self-worth. We are all miracles. We are all worth the time and effort to fix ourselves in however way that we discover. And when we do that, we see the potential that we really have as being something better than we imagined.
I'm like all over that, but at the same time, I wanted to circle back on something that you said. You said something, it's so important, and it's so women struggle with this so much, being unkind to themselves. And I see it happen all the time. And I think the narrative is growing up was be kind to other people. It was never understanding self. So self was really sort of invisible, put aside, and not intentionally, really unintentionally, that don't consider yourself, consider other people. They're better than, they're more worthy than, they're more valuable. That's the story, the narrative that I carried. I was too very harsh with myself and realized I had to do a lot of unlearning and then new learning about really what self-compassion was. And self-compassion is the antithesis of, protection, right? Being compassionate to myself and really seeing myself as one of my best friends. Really that tenderness I didn't have because I was always told, or always sort of in a way that I didn't matter. And I know I did to everyone. It's just I developed a story, a narrative that wasn't true. And so I see a lot of women today, and those who I implore you to get the book. I implore you to read the stories of the many women who shared their honest, heartfelt stories. And really, sometimes I cried throughout it because I was writing and thinking, this book is for me. I'm writing this book for me. I wish every mother would buy it for their daughters, because if you teach a child, not just a little girl, but little boys too, about self-compassion early, then maybe we would have a kinder society.
I think so.
Maybe instead of the drive and the hustle and the, I gotta step over you to get ahead, maybe our boardroom will be filled with people that are tender but firm, right? Validating, but not sort of demeaning, right? So those characteristics will be shaped if in fact, parents buy these books for their young people and read it as stories throughout the night. Just understanding that development happens early.
Yeah.
Once you get a child that knows who they are, that love themselves, that are self-compassionate and kind to themselves, they're then able to show that into the world like Marty talked about. So I wanted to share that as well.
Yeah, and soft hearted doesn't mean you're weak.
That's right. That's right.
It's a power that makes you and allows you to rise, and that's the beauty of it all. This it's so not what we perceive it to be, that you're a sucker and you fall for
Right.
everything and
Right.
and all this. No, you want peace. You want to propagate peace. You want it in you. And if you don't have it in you, then you can't propagate it and you're always going to be confused. But I've learned so many things because I've expressed myself from writing that
Yeah,
it's a catharsis, a constant catharsis. It's like, throw that down. Marty, why'd you write that? Why do you think that? Wow, let me look at it a little closer. And then you start seeing what it was, that all those limiting things that you built in there that have to be, kind of shredded apart to see
sure.
what it
Yep.
was that was driving you. And what was driving you was the very things you're missing for
Hmm.
yourself to give and share with the world. So the coolest thing in the world is to write a book, but the best thing in the world is to write one that helps you heal and wants you to teach others to do the
That's
same.
it. That's
That's
it. There's
You
no
can't
better
ask for
thing to
more.
feel. Yeah. So, as we wrap up, what would you tell somebody who's thinking about pre-ordering the book? What would you say? Give us a quote from your chapter of the book that really stuck out to you.
Well,
I could share.
for the longest years, I thought I had lost, that I wasn't enough, but I was wrong. Okay. Failure was not the end, it was the beginning. It was the
Mhm.
beginning. And this book is for the woman who's been knocked down, who's doubted her worth, who's still choosing to rise. So it has purpose, it has power, and it brings peace. So when you read these
Mm.
things and you see how many people have gone through the very things that you probably have perceived in you that never paid attention, and you start examining and introspect yourself and say, why do we do that? Then you question yourself, and then you're criticizing yourself productively, positively, to make yourself a better version. Then you can't argue with reading this book, because you're going to learn and see that there's a whole lot more people suffering and
Mhm.
admitting that everything is not a bed of roses. It's not
Mhm.
a rainbow. It's not every flavor of everything you love. On the contrary, it's a combination of everything that makes you discern and realize that we are much more than we expected. We are a miracle, and we have so much to offer to the world with our own talents, our own treasures, and our own stories. So, yes, she
Well said.
wins, and nice girls do finish first.
Yes, and yes, and yes. And I say kindness is a superpower. That's what I said at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Because I've realized that the society and our culture would say otherwise. But you have to begin to buck the system and say, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens. Like my mom would say, I'm going to kill them with kindness. And so that's it for now, people. We hope that you get the book. The links will be in the show notes below. And pre-order, I think it's on Kindle now. Well, it would be on Kindle for pennies, so you can read it and buy it for your friends, buy it for your BFFs, buy it for your family.
That's
Spread the movement of kindness.
Yeah.
I want to just shout out to She Rises Publishing Studios. Love the publisher. I just love Hannah and her team, and they make it seem so easy
And
to write a book.
and this is what I love about them most, is they are wonderful people. They are wonderful people, but they're not there by themselves.
That's right.
They contaminate all of us with wanting to
It's a
do the
movement.
very thing that we enjoying. We're seeing
Yes,
that people thrive when they share. And
that's
when
right.
we're a community that sees all walks of life, all nationalities and everything, that's showing us that humanity has the potential to be so much more than we've given it a chance to be.
Okay, now go grab your copy, get on the pre-launch party, and
That's
let's
it.
make this a movement of
Amen.
kindness.
Thank
See
you,
everyone.
Jen. And everybody will definitely benefit from reading this, and share.
That's right.
Maybe you
Share.
don't need it, but somebody else will definitely make use of it.
Wonderful.
God bless.
God bless. Take care.